What's going on, everybody? David here from Bluckers Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Jurassic World Dino Trackers Danger Packs. Now, it comes with 4 of them, but we're only going to focus on the first 2, and then the last 2 we'll do it in a separate video. But for now, we'll just go ahead and take a look at all 4 of them here in front of us. And as you can tell, that this particular set comes with 3 new species and 1 repaint. So the new species that we get in this line is the Osteoraptor, the Brachiosaurus, the Nothosaurus, and the Elaphsaurus. So the Brachiosaurus is the lone repaint that we got from the previous 2, and the Nothosaurus is pretty much based on the Camp Cretaceous TV series on Netflix. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. Would recommend to watch the first 3, and then the last 2. It has some its mixed feelings throughout the community and stuff, but I personally like the last 2 seasons. I don't have an issue with it like most people did, but it's understandable why. But at the same time, it's pretty much more of an updated version of what goes on in today's society. So it's kind of where my stand is on that. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. We're here to talk about the Danger Packs. So, like I said, we're going to focus on the first 2, the Osteoraptor and the Brachiosaurus, and then in a separate video, we'll take a look at the Nothosaurus and the Elaphsaurus. Alright, so here we are. So we're, like I said, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at both of these, and that is the Osteoraptor and the Brachiosaurus. So, as you can tell from earlier when we showed all 4 of them, you can tell that they had different card backs. So there's a reason for it, because they want to establish, a different kind of environments that these particular species lived in. So whether that's true or not in real life, I don't know, but it's a cool little concept. So we are going to go ahead and move the Brachiosaurus aside, and we are going to take a look at the Osteoraptor. So let's go ahead and take it out of its packaging, and there we go. So very cool. I really do like the fact that we're getting kind of like different card backs. Like I said, it's similar, but a little different too at the same time, which is very cool. Let's go ahead and set up the camera right here so we can really focus in on what we're looking at. Alright, so as far as this packaging goes, this is your standard Danger Pack packaging. The card back is pretty much going to be the same as far as the imagery goes, but it's going to be a little different between different species. So here we have is blue and beta, and then we got the Jurassic World logo right here, the Dino Trackers logo right there, and then we have the Danger Pack Osteoraptor for ages 4 and up. That's me, and that's Mattel logo right there. And then we have the desert symbol right there with the cactus right there. So we'll talk about that here in a second. And then on the back, we got the Jurassic World logo right there, Dino Trackers logo right there, and then we got the cross sell of all 4 figures that we just looked at here in this wave or series or wave. And so we have the Osteoraptor with the desert background. We got the baby Brachiosaurus in the mountain background. We have the Nothosaurus in the ocean background, and we have the Elaphsaurus with the jungle background. Very cool. And then here is the fax app information right there, and then right here is the I'm drawing a blank right now. Copyright information and everything with the universal emblem logo right there. So, like I said, that this is the Osteoraptor is part of the desert environment, with the cactus right there, like I mentioned before. And then got the rocks and the sands, a little bit right there, and then the hot sun right there. So, very cool. So, really do like that a lot. So, let's go ahead and move that out the way. And let's bring in our Osteoraptor. Excuse me. So, I don't know too much about this thing. I do know from what I've did my research on that it did live in the Cretaceous period, and that it is part of the Dromaeosaurid family. And the Dromaeosaurid family consists of the Dromaeosaur, Utahraptor, the Deinonychus, the Velociraptor, and a few other species, that I can't think of on the top of my head. So, very cool. And that the Osteoraptor is one of the two larger species of the Dromaeosaur, along with the Utahraptor. So, that's pretty cool in itself. So, that being said, let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. So here we have, this is dipped in this, or molded out of this colored plastic right here. And the paint, very minimal paint apps here. And I know that a lot of people complain about the lack of paint that a lot of the species that we get have. and it's understandable, especially when you're doing a striping color, it only has its limited range. It doesn't go across the tail. There are only a handful of figures ever since Mattel has this license that's ever happened that the striping pattern would go all the way down. So, but I don't really have an issue with it. They're just toys, and so I like my toys the way that they are. Because that's what they're supposed to be, toys. But that's just me. Some of them I do agree that it, like this, does make a little sense. But if you have a pattern that just goes right there and just complete stops and it just literally cuts off, and there's nothing there, then yeah, I do get the complaint. But something like this is okay with me because, one, it's a little bit more realistic because we really don't know what these dinosaurs actually look like. They could actually be purple for all we know. Who knows? We just going with our imaginations, what we feel and think that what kind of coloration they have. Which is fine. But anyways, so as far as the main sculpt itself, really do love it. I do love the fact that how Mattel does sculpt their dinosaurs, like a paint or not. So, as far as the legs go, you got a deep muscle cut right there, and then you got the very hefty calf muscle right there, and all the way, and then you got a little detailing here on the kneecaps right there. And then you get the dew claw here in the back right there. And then you got the front claws here, which are unpainted, unfortunately, like most of their figures are when it comes to the toe and the hand claws right there. And the feet look really good right there. Do like the little bird-like feet right here that they have right there. And then here it's the same thing. Deep cut here on the legs and the hind legs, the calf muscle. You got a little cut right there as far as what the tail goes, and then get a little bit of ribs right there showing right there, the creases here on the side of the belly on both sides, and then here you got a little bit of skin flap here on the neck, and because got to remember these are kind of like bird-like creatures, and then on the arms you got a little bit of feathering here, so there. A little bit of feather right there, and then here on the top of the head, it looks like it's a little bit of feathering. Can't really tell, but I would assume that's got a little bit of feathering texturing right there, here on the top of the head and down the back of his neck a little bit right there. So very cool. And so as far as the eye placement goes, looks good right there. Let me see if we can't brighten that up a little bit more so we get it better. Look at it there. So looks good there. Looks pretty good right there. So no problems with the eye placements here. And then here you got the long snout here, and You could tell it's got that kind of like Spinosaurus long snout. Now, when they discovered this, I don't know about now, but apparently this is like when they found this, it was an incomplete skeleton. And then, like when they found the jaws and stuff, like half of the jaw, like especially here in the front part, was missing. And so I think when they did the rendering of what they would think that it looked like in real life, they pretty much made it a little bit longer. So that's why we have this elongated snout right here. So that's why it kind of got that crocodilian Spinosaurus kind of look to it, you know. So very cool. Then here's the jaws with the teeth. I really like that. I like how everything looks on that side. And I do like the paint on this, especially around the head. Especially get that orangish coloration right there along the top of the eye and the head right there. And you got the little specklings here right behind the eye. And you got the little bit here on the snout. And then you got the get a little bit of coloration right there. I want to say that maybe that's just my eyes playing tricks on me, but never mind. I thought it was like a little bit bluish color there, but it's not. It's just the way the lighting looked. It kind of threw me off for a loop. So, but it's a little bit shiny right here on top of the head, right there around the paint, here on the head, around the eyes and stuff. So it's pretty shiny right there. But then you can tell that's a separate piece, you know, just by that little cut right there. But then you got the actual paint coloration here. So very natural color right there. Really do like this figure a lot, you know, just because of the natural feel to it and how it looks. And then the arms right here, you know, they were made out of this brownish plastic right there. So with that being said, as far as the articulation goes, the tail swivels around like that. Let's go ahead and, there we go. Looks a lot better right there. Let me kind of clear that up a little bit. And forwards and backwards in the legs right there. And then forwards and backwards here on the arms. And then the neck is on a ball and swivel. So you get to swivel the head around like there. And the neck goes all the way up there. And then it goes all the way down there. So you can actually make it look like it's eating something. And then the snout's all the way down there. So there you have it. That is our Osteoraptor. So let's go ahead and kind of tilt that forward a little bit. And we are going to do some comparison. Let me fix that a little bit. That looks a little weird. Alright. So as far as our first comparison goes, we have these Dracosaurs, as you know, this is part of the Cretaceous kind of period here. So the Styracosaurus did live in the Cretaceous period. May not have lived alongside, because I think that the Osteoraptor was in part of the late Cretaceous. So, but as far as the whole period as a whole, the Cretaceous period, Styracosaurus did live alongside, or live in that particular time frame, should I say? Excuse me. So, even though it's a little bit on the small side, should be a little bit bigger, but still very cool. And then the second comparison that we'll have will bring out the Sauropelta. So that is another creature that it lived in the same time period as the Osteoraptor. And as far as the comparison with the human, here is a mercenary. So that's pretty much in scale for the most part. So if you really want to get accurate to it, then it should probably be about that big. But for the most part, you know, let's see if we can't fix that stance. There we go. So, but for the most part, I do like the scaling of it. And that is our look of the Osteoraptor. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this particular species. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, so next up is the baby Brachiosaurus. Let's go ahead and take it out of its packaging quick. I can't talk today for some reason. So there we have it out of its packaging, and let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. So basically, like I said in the beginning, this is your standard Danger Pack packaging. So the only thing that's different is that it has the mountain logo right there. So apparently this particular species lived in the mountain areas, or in the mountain regions, whatever. And so kind of like, I like the background, how they got the forest background with the trees and everything like that. So very cool. So here is our baby Brack. So right off the bat, this is pretty much a plain Jane figure, which is fine because I don't think the Brachiosaurus was a colorful creature like that, you know, and I think it was just more kind of a bland color. So, but that's okay. I do notice a subtle difference here, and we'll get to that here in a second. But, you know, it was molded out of this particular color plastic, you know. The other two weren't all that colorful either, you know. They were pretty much bland as well, you know, maybe a little bit shading differently here and there. But as far as what we got going on here, we do have these little white spots here that were just kind of like painted on here on each side. So, and then you got the spray paint here along the under eye here, and just to try to match that color plastic, because that is a different color plastic right there in a separate piece. So not a whole lot to look at here. You know, it is a baby Brachiosaurus, and they're little chubby figures, and this particular figure has some weight to it, you know. So it's a weighty figure for its small stature. And the thing that I noticed differently is the fact that it got some pebbling here right there. And I don't know if it was designed that way because of the particular the mountain region that it supposedly lived in, you know, that has anything to do with it. But I do remember the other two that got a little bit more smoother backs on there. And this is the only one that has the pebbling to it, you know. Now, let me know in the comments below what you think of the theory is that has the all this this right here, you know. Very interesting. So that being said, so as far as, you know, detail goes, great detail, you know. Like I said, it's just a little chunky figure. The only muscle definition that we got is in the front legs. You know, you can tell a little bit muscular structure here, how deep the cuts are, you know, along the legs here in the front. So very cool. And so as far as articulation goes, got the rotation at the tail, you know, all the way around. So, and then the legs go forward, and, well, more so backwards than anything. Can't really go forwards. And then, but the hind leg can't go back that much, but more so forwards. So pretty much backwards here on the hind, and then forwards here on the front. And then as far as the jaw goes, jaw opens up all the way like that. It's got a little bit of a wet tongue right there. Let's go ahead and see if we can't clear that out. There we go. I love how they have the teeth placement right there, and the eyes too. So, and then the neck itself, you know, it's got a hinge, so it just goes all the way down like that. It goes all the way up like that. Alright, so let's go ahead and do some comparisons. Let's move them over right there. And we'll have the original one right here. And as you can tell the difference, because like I said, let me brighten this up a little bit so you can see how smooth the backside is. And then here on this one, it's got the little bumps right here, the pebbling here. So Like I said, I don't know if it's just because they made it like that because of the type of environment that they placed it in. So let me know what you think of that, you know, as the reason behind them doing that. So this is very interesting though. So we got the original alongside the new one, and here is the green one that's to go along with it, the second release. So really very cool. And then we have Ben right here as far as for a comparison size to the human. So very cool. Got a little small herd of baby Brax. So I really do like that a lot. It's very cool. And there you have it. That is the baby Brachiosaurus. And before I forget, so here is the FaxApp scan code right here for those who need it, you know, who are collectors of that thing. And then here is the baby Brachiosaurus. Just there. So there you have it. That is the first 2 reviews of these particular species. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Did you like the comparisons that I did with it? Let me know. And don't forget, words of wisdom. Buy what you love and not what you like, because if you buy what you like, you will always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.